Hey, welcome back to the channel. Been some time since I did a post, so what I'm looking to do is just follow on from my update post and just give you guys an insight as to what life on chemo is a little bit like. So I'm going to do this in a few parts because I've got a lot of footage that I've sort of captured, and I'm not doing this to have a whinge. I'm doing this in the hopes that people will pick up on what I'm doing, that I'm following my regimen, my routine, making sure I get my nutrient, and you can see the side effects and what it's putting me through, and you just grit your teeth and go through it. You just keep going. You can see my hair is thinning. There's bits falling out. I actually just had this cut, so in the video you'll see the hair was growing, and I'm starting to shed my hair. So I decided to crew it back into something that's more manageable than clumps of hair falling out in the middle of the street and whatnot. So yeah, so this is really intended for you guys if you're going to hang in there and watch it through just to see what I'm going through. It's not something that I'm sharing because I'm whinging about my lot in life or anything like that. I'm sharing it because you can see that I'm sticking to a routine and that I'm working within the advice I've been given, on what to take and when to take it and how to do things. And I found a couple of things that help, and I put a bit of a cooking segment in there to show you that I do cook. So just initially here, I just want you to see what a typical kind of morning is like for me, as I go through this process of chemotherapy. So this is just a typical morning. This is across a couple of typical mornings where I've chopped and changed a bit, but you'll get the idea that this is typically what I go through. Righto, let's get into it. Trolley bus full of tablets to take. This is life with chemotherapy. That's what I've got to get down every morning, and then every night I've got to get down half of that without the Movicol satchel. So I'm just making a little record. You can see I'm up with the crack of dawn. You just can't sleep on this stuff. And of course I've got the poison bag in. It's at the end of the cycle. If you haven't seen one, that tube goes up into my chest with a permacath, and that's the balloon in the baby bottle, and as you can see it's just about empty, so it comes out at about lunchtime. So after lunch that'll be empty. I duck up and see them and they pull that out of my chest. Here's me chest. It gets pulled out. Life with chemo. Wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Knocks you around. Yeah. Even just doing little things like this, I'm puffing and panting and trying to deal with it. Goes in this little bag which is around my shoulder when I don't have my chino shorts on, with my pocket in them. Just leave it in that bag, it sits under there. It's pretty innocuous. You wear a floppy shirt. Just got to watch you don't hook that on anything. You hook that wire on something and it jerks it around. It's a bloody pain. Right, that's that. Righto, so I've got my pills ready to go. This is going to be breakfast. So we've got some orange juice, we've got some dairy, we've got more dairy, we've got more dairy, we've got fruit. We're going to chop a banana into it, and we're going to grab some cornflakes. So we're going to have a bowl. I'm going to prepare that first, and then I've got my pills all up here. So we've got 6 pills that we've got to get down this morning. I'm taking anti-nausea. I'm not going to take the anti-nausea. I'm going to keep it in reserve in case I need it. I'm not taking it. I'm going to take the blood pressure. That's the blood pressure. This one's the blood thinner. It's only aspirin, but I've got to take that. That and that and that are the minimum I have to take every morning. These horse tablets here are potassium supplements, and I have to take 2 of those. Now if I was taking one more, the 6th one would be the nausea pill, which I'm not going to take this morning. I'm going to leave it off. So, I'm going to prepare brekkie. Got my pills ready to go. I can put my pills away. Just some cornflakes, nothing special. So we tip in a handful of cornflakes. Put that where I found it. I always chuck the milk in first, it's easier. It's full cream milk. I don't worry about light in my diet because, as you can see, I add cream. I'm going to just do this because these are a bit hard to open if you've got wet hands. So there goes the fruit. Sorry about the noise coming from next door. Not much I can do about it. I love licking the lid. My taste buds are short, so everything tastes sour, but I still love licking the lid. Not that. I need a spoon now. There we go. So we're going to just blop that in. Right, so that is all that, and that's ready for the bin. That can go in the fridge. I've got new cream, got to crack it open. Picked this up at the shops yesterday. Bit of cream over that, here we go. And I forgot to add the banana first, of course, so we're going to add that. I'm going to start chucking stuff away in the fridge. Can't know what you're seeing, but this would normally be a Movicol, and I'm not taking that because I'm actually diuretic. I'm suffering from diarrhea, so I'm not taking Movicol. So I'm having orange juice this morning. So there's the rubbish. Glass, we're going to pop this in. More rubbish goes in the composting. I compost banana peels and everything. Just chomp that up, put it in, nice and rough. And that's breakfast ready to rock and roll. Cream, milk, yogurt. It's got fruit salad and banana. So I need for my potassium. So 2 potassium pills. They're down. 1 big horse tablet, blood pressure. And then the pantoprazole and aspirin. All down. I'll deal with this. put everything away. And that is my morning routine. Now the problem is that's got to sort of come down in temperature, come up in temperature rather, because I can't eat it if it's too cold, and I can't drink that if it's too cold, which at the moment it is. And standing in front of the fridge gives me pins and needles, so every time I reach into the fridge my hands go stupid, which has just happened. I'm supposed to wear gloves. It's one of the side effects of the chemo. Put my pillbox away. Have a look at my pillbox. That's my pillbox. It's the size of a small house. Used to be really small, now it's growing and growing and growing. So there it is, that's breakfast, ready to rock and roll. I'm going to get that down me in about 10 minutes. Thanks for watching this. Hey, welcome back. So I just wanted to do a quick update on living with chemotherapy. Living through chemotherapy maybe. I got some work done on the engine this morning. I've got all these chips that I've been programming, testing. And we've been able to program the chips and we've got it going. Now I've done all that around getting my chemo sorted today. The bag came off. I got my little thing to stop me bleeding when the bag came out. And I feel like crap. I really do. I feel like crap. I just have no energy. I've got a milk going here, tastes sour. And it's firing off my pins and needles because it's still a bit cold. And chocolate milk. Met up with a couple of people I haven't seen for a while. It was good to catch up. Got my pills sorted this morning. Had all the right paperwork this time, so it was relatively painless. I got my pills. But what I haven't got is energy. I just got none. Now, what I want to do, I just want to stay ahead of the game a little bit. But I've got no energy. I'm really exhausted. Now, Leonie will be home soon. She said she was finishing at 1 today. It's after 1 o'clock. I've got nothing on the calendar diary today, but I was all certain. I was completely certain that there was an event on today. I'm going back to Engineers Australia's thing. There's a Virtual World Engineers Symposium thing coming up. I got the mail from the post office. So we need the 8th. Future-proofing unlocking Auckland's rail network. Okay, 4 p.m. So it doesn't cost me anything. 1.5 CPD hours. So I'm going to do that. Why won't it let me sign in? Come on. I need to put in a new. Come on. Right, so it's 4 p.m. to 5:30. Right, so that's this afternoon. Living with chemo. I forgot I was recording. There you go. So what I just did there was sign into Engineers Australia for a webinar that they're doing this afternoon at 4. It's gone into my calendar, so hopefully that thing will give me a warning that it's 4 o'clock that I've got to sign on. So what am I going to do? I abandoned soldering so that I could get around and do all my running around. I really want to get back to it and get something going with that board, because getting that board up and running would be a bit of a burn for me. Now I've got parts for it here on the left hand side of me, but I haven't sorted this switch arrangement out, and I'm thinking that I can do a similar thing under the board, run a wire through and run the switch through from the top. So I'm thinking it through, and I think it's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to join this wire up through the top of the board, push the switch through from the bottom of the board, and solder everything together and see if we can get this to be what we need it to be. I think that's a very good idea. I think I'm in a good place with this. Now the thing is, it will only work hooked up to supply for 5 volts. I think I've got that. I think I've got that I can manage. So I can hook it up to an external power supply. I have got a 5-volt power supply that I can use. What I'll do is I'll mark the pins with a little bit of plastic so that I'll know which pins to hook up to for the volt supply. I'm in a good place with this. I think I'm working it in a very good place. So I think I'm just going to keep moving. Cheers, guys. Morning. You guys have seen me at my worst. I've literally done nothing this week. I've got a couple of little jobs need doing. Beautiful day out there. It's overcast out to sea. Looks like they're copping a bit of rain out there. Overcast to the south. Copping a bit of rain down there. Right on top of us. Beautiful. Go figure. I had a bit of a job of it this time round. I'm up to my 3rd treatment. I'm about to take on my 4th one next Tuesday. It's just hit me hard, and I've used it as an excuse. I haven't done any work. I'm really annoyed at myself. I'm depressed. I am depressed. Let's face it. I guess I wanted this to be a bit of a video diary. I don't know that I'm going to release it to the public. I might do another one so I can release something, put out a channel update. But I just wanted people to know that even at my worst, I'm still working towards things. I promised myself I wouldn't get behind on this stuff, and I have. I've gotten horribly behind. And I've set my own goals, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be. Nowhere near. And I don't know what to do. Well, I do know what to do. I've got to get my finger out, but I don't know what to do about me. The world believes I'm not able to work for them. I'm not getting jobs. I'm not getting work. I've got a couple of mates that feed me a bit of work from time to time, and it's just not enough to make things happen the way I want them to happen. And I have to change some things. It's up to me to change. I guess this is a tipping point for me. I don't know if it gets worse than this. I felt so terrible this time around this treatment. The nausea. I've lost my taste. I can't taste anything. My taste buds are gone. So even if I want to reward myself with something, to eat, which is where I've been, I have a little drink of that iced coffee. Even that's a problem because I can't really taste it anymore. I taste pins and needles. That's what I taste. And then there's this sour aftertaste, real sour. It's like you drank sour milk. But it's not the milk. Milk's fresh. It's a kind of hell. It really is. And just when you think you got a handle on it, it does something else to you. If it's not diarrhea, it's constipation. If it's not constipation, it's diarrhea. I prefer the diarrhea, to be honest. Doesn't hurt. Constipation hurts. I thought I had a meeting set up with a bloke who runs a space engineering company. They build rockets, and they're local. And I reached out. I sent him a letter. Said I'd like to get a bit of a hand up. And he said he'd meet with me for a coffee sometime this week. I haven't heard anything since. I need to follow it up, but I'm at my worst. I really am. I'm at my worst. And if he sees me at my worst, who knows if he'll give me a hand up. I know the answer to that. At my worst, I'm probably better than his worst employee on his best day. I probably am. Her. The stress is wearing on her. She had a week off from work. She needs another week. She needs another 5 weeks. She can't take that job at the moment. And there's just no way to look after her. It's killing me. It's absolutely killing me. And that's more than anything else got me depressed. That's the thing that's got me. If there were a way that I could look after her, get her into her own home, that at least there's a mortgage being paid off, that's a house that we're paying towards. Instead of paying this place, we're paying someone else's mortgage off. We're renting here. And we got no option. This is it for us. We can't get a loan. No one will give us money. I've got to prove this wrong. I've got to fix this. And I don't know how to do it. I just don't. I rang up a mortgage broker last week. Got in touch with him. He didn't pull his punches, and I didn't pull mine. and it was quite clear that we were wasting his time. We can go out and borrow money from loan sharks at 6%. Everyone else can get it at 3%, but us that are struggling, we got to pay 6%. How does that work? I don't know how life works. I just don't. If you are responsible, if you budget your money correctly, if you do the right things, you should be able to walk up into a bank and say, listen, I want to convert the money I'm paying in rent to a mortgage. And they should go, yep, no worries. Because I've been paying this money out for 10 years. I could have half paid off a loan. Right? It could be halfway done. But instead of that, we've half paid off someone else's. 10 years we've been paying this rent. That's money we're never going to get back, ever. Now we've been punished here. We really are. This is a point of ridiculous, bordering on insane. And yet they'll give us money for not working. Right? They'll give us money for free. They won't give us money to settle us in a house. We are not like other people. We are responsible. We look after ourselves as best we can within what we have. And the system just doesn't fit us at all. It punishes us. I don't know if anyone's out there even aware of what we're going through. We're never getting that money back. We're never getting the money we lost back. There's people that owe us money out there. There's people that owe us big money. They're never going to pay us. They went into bankruptcy and the court said, yeah, well, that's all right. They don't have to pay you anymore. They went into bankruptcy. I didn't go into bankruptcy. I paid people. I was the only idiot that did that. I paid every one of those guys that I owed money to, and today they don't even give a shit about me. Not one of them. Some of them are doing quite well as a result of the training I gave them. And there's no loyalty to me. None. A couple of them don't even know whether I'm living or dying. They haven't spoken to me in over 20 years. And they're doing really well. There's guys I went through uni with that I know cheated to get their degrees. They got jobs. They cheated. They're working. I didn't cheat. I worked my ass off. It's just wrong. They'll get found out. They'll get sacked or whatever because they're incompetent. They got given a go because they're young. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. There's got to be something in character, in people. There's got to be something that rewards. It's got to come back. Or people will change their nature. They will get bitter. They will rebel, rise up. I just don't know what it is about society that they all expect it'll get solved by the government. I'm not looking for a government solution. I'm not looking for that. I'm just looking for a fair go. Okay, well that's this video done. I feel as bad as a bloke can feel. I'm queasy, I'm fragile, tired, I'm depressed. I just don't want to do anything. And I keep looking at this little thing here, and I know that'll save us. I know it will. All I've got to do is finish it, get it out there. Who's to say that I'm not an employable person? I am. I have a lot to offer. and the system it's feeding me, it's paying the mortgage for me or the rent for me. But that's not what I'm looking for from this system. It is not what I need. Okay, enough said. Thanks for watching. Yeah, talking to a bloody camera that's not even turned on. Good news. Right, so what I was saying is if you haven't worked it out, you can see my hair. I'm actually losing it. This is life with chemo. This is me getting myself sorted of a morning. I had a bit of a night. Was up and down a couple of times during the night. And it's not good. It kills your sleep. Like, you got to get your sleep in. Got to get it. You know, if you don't get a full night, you're just kidding yourself. So they've offered me things to do that, and I turned them down. I'll just sort myself out, thanks. I'll get me sleep. But on the good news side of things, I managed to get myself a fairly good night of sleep last night, despite that I was up and down a couple of times, and I didn't disturb Leonie. She's off to work. They called her in. I don't know if I mentioned it. And this is where I feel like shit, because she's out there working and I'm crook. And no one's giving me a go. No one's like, if they put me on, I'd make it work. I'd find a way to get the job done. But no one's giving me. I can't even work from home. They're not giving me the work. You know, I don't know. It's just not happening. And it doesn't matter what I do. I get encouragement, and then it's no, I don't want to give you a job. And it's like, well, what's the point of talking about encouragement if you don't get the work at the end of it all? You know, you need the work. You need to keep yourself active and keep yourself mobile. So that said, we're going to finally get on to Project Zoomy again today. That's the plan. Now, yesterday I rang a mate, and I was going to do a hangout with him in the morning. And it was all planned, and it was all good, and everything looked rosy, and then I couldn't find the motorbike keys. And I spent 2 hours looking for them, and they just didn't turn up. Now, what happened was I took them to the markets to get 2 spare keys sorted. Leonie's got a spare. There's 2 spares on top of that, plus the key that I use all the time. So there's now 4 keys for the bike, which, you know, like, we should never lose the keys. Well, guess what? I lost all the bloody keys with Leonie at work, and no key. I couldn't get the bike to start, of course. So I rung the guy and said, well, listen, I'm going to have to pull the pin. He said, oh, don't worry, I left my wallet somewhere, and I've just been retracing my steps anyway, so I wouldn't have been home if you got there. So we had a bit of a one of these ones, come on, oh, look out, one of those ones. And yeah, so anyway, he's offered to see if we can try again for this morning, and I'm at a point where I think I need to do a hangout with one of my mates, because I feel like shit. I really do. I don't love it when my wife goes off to work and I'm stuck at home with no job. So we're going to work on Project Zoomy. We're going to fix this flasher can once and for all, because we've now isolated. It's the only thing left is the flasher can, unless there's a break in the circuit. But I'll quickly eliminate the circuit. Oh God. Oh. Life of chemo. Good stuff. And what that is the Movicol trying to settle and me trying to throw it up. And I can't throw it up because one of the pills we took in there is an anti-nausea, which stops you throwing up. So you do these ones until it stops. But you've got to get the food down you. It doesn't matter what, you've got to get it down. You've got to get your morning down and done. And after this, what I'll do is I'll probably head in and have a shower. It's a bit early for old mate yet. He likes his sleeping. So it's Saturday morning too, so you probably want to sleep in till about 9. I mean, I've been up and about since probably 3 o'clock this morning. But in fairness, I got up at around 1. I was up till around 3 with toilets and whatnot. And I came out here and I managed to get myself tired enough that I went in and I closed my eyes and I got back to sleep. So that was good. I was working on something here, just a private thing. I write books, and sometimes I'll come out and do a bit of writing. What I actually did last night was come out here and muck around. I didn't really write anything of purpose. I was just mucking around, and it managed to get me tired, and I went back in and got my eyes closed and got off to sleep again. So from 3 till when Leonie woke up this morning and got herself ready, I woke up with her, and she got off to work and left me to it, and I've just sort of left it around till about 8ish. It's 8 o'clock in the morning now. Actually a bit after that, and as you saw, I'm into the routine of the morning, which is, get the pills down, get the Movicol down, wait for it to settle. It takes 15 minutes. It's only been a few minutes and already I'm trying to throw the Movicol back up. And once that settles, I can start on that breakfast, and that'll be sitting there at room temperature, and I'll be able to get that down at a decent sort of a rate. Just taking my time with it. It's got sustagen all over it as well, so it's got extra artificial boosters in it. I don't normally put the sustagen on. I just did it just because you guys are floating around and were looking over my shoulder, so I put some sustagen. I could show that to the powers that be that are looking after me medically, and they'll go, "Oh, is that what you do for breath? Oh, that's really, really good." Which it is. Everything in that bowl is super good for me. Now there's some dates in the cupboard too. I could chuck them in, and I could chuck some strawberries or something in there as well. But that's a bit overkill, and what I'll do is I'll just leave all that, and I have those in smoothies and things. If I make strawberry smoothies, or I throw a couple of dates in there just to keep my bowels regular. But all that medicine is required just so I can function. That's the minimum I need to function, and that's without the creon, which is supposed to help my digestion, which I think is causing me to go all bloaty. So I'm thinking I'll leave the creon out and just see if the bloaty thing stops, because I don't think I'm getting any benefit from that creon at all. Right, I'm going to try some of this, see how we go. Yeah, that's good. You don't taste the sustagen, it's just in there. It's all over everything. I do taste the fruit though. Okay, I lied. I do taste the sustagen as well. The only thing is your cornflakes are always soggy, you know. It's trying to come back up. You ought to get it down. Can't come back up. So this is the morning routine for someone on chemo. This is what it is. Well, this is me on chemo. It might be a bit different for other people. Probably is. But you wake up, you've got a bit of energy about you because you just woke up. And then you take your meds. And then you get this. And then you've got to wait for it all to settle down. It takes three quarters of an hour or so for it to settle down. And then you get your shower and get yourself sorted. But you can't lie down once you've had your food. If you lie down, you'll throw up. You've got to keep mobile, keep yourself active and upright for 3/4 of an hour for it to just start the digestion juices, breaking it down at whatever. Here's a big old blob of sustagen. It's clumping up. It's not breaking down. I thought that would break down in the milk, but it's big clumps of it anyway. It tastes alright because I've got so much yogurt and good stuff in there. That was a full container of yogurt, 250 grams. The one I had no added preservatives or things, just straight in the cured in the pot. There's another one that's in there, another yogurt that Mrs. likes that I don't like, and she won't buy mine until the other one runs out, so I've got to eat it. But what I do is a sneaky one, and I go out and buy it myself, put it in the bloody trolley before she knows it. She catches me, she puts it back, so I do it last thing. I always try to sneak a sneaky one in there, so I've got one in there. I don't mind if she eats the other one, that's her problem, or her prerogative. But I like what I like. And what she doesn't know won't hurt me. See, I can't pick the plate up. The plate is freezing cold and I can't touch it with my hands, so I've got to lean over to it. Because we've got most of the contents out. And what's left is this creamy, milky, beautiful thick milk and yogurt. And you see the sausages settled down, and this is now coming down on top of it. Okay, I can get the plate now. I can start to tilt the plate up a bit. Oh gosh, hope you guys didn't see that. It's coming back up. Came up on my shirt, came up on me, through the nose, come up through everywhere. That's got to get dealt with, I suppose. Let's get it down. Now, if you're staying with me, I congratulate you. I wouldn't. It's a pretty disgusting morning routine. While the food's going down, you've got to keep it going down. Now we'll go about another 15 minutes trying to throw that up. Cheers. That's just a breakfast juice. of orange passion fruit and mango in it. Yeah, it's trying to come up too. You got to get a bit of citrus in. And some stone fruit. The fruit cup thing was peaches, pineapple, pears. It's only like a 250 gram and you chuck it on the top. It's convenient, it's all cut up ready to rock and roll, so you're up and running. And there we're 15 minutes in, so the Nova coal by now is on its way through. All that I just ate in 15 minutes from now, I'll be right to have my shower in the meantime. So what I try to do is to keep myself upright and moving along. So I'll go in and have my shower. Oh, Jesus. I wouldn't wish chemo on my worst enemy. I really wouldn't. I'm sorry about that. These are the noises. There's other noises that happen from the other end as well. And, you know, you go through this routine every morning. It's every morning. And that's it. That's the routine. But that's life on chemo. That's where it is. And you got to get on with it. Get on with your day. So what I'm going to do next, now we only found the keys, they were in the pocket of a pair of pants, so they went through the wash. So all the keys have turned up for the bike. By the time I get out of the shower and get myself sorted, old mate might be awake and I'll give him a ring and find out does he want to hang out. Now if he doesn't, I'm going to go down and grab the bike, move it out of the garage where the mozzies are, because I got bitten the other day up here. And I actually got quite crook from it. You know, it come up in a nice big old blustery, swelly thing, and it made me feel a bit crook, and I don't want to be bitten by mozzies anymore. So I've decided we're getting into our summer season, so we live near a creek, so there's plenty of mozzies, there's plenty of midges, and there's plenty of sandflies and things that bitey. And I normally walk around in our summertime covered in insect repellent. I use the Aerogard one, it works here. Not a sponsor, so don't go out and buy Aerogard just because I said I use it. I've got so many things going on at the moment, I don't know where to start. So we're going to go back to Project Zoomy today. Hopefully we'll get a bit of film of me pulling fairings off and tracing down this flasher can. I'm going to take my small, this little one with me. So that's got to come with. I'll put that up where I might not forget to pick it up on the way out the door. There's things everywhere. They shouldn't be everywhere, but they are. I've got a couple of tools I'm going to take with me, just in case old mate can't find his. I know he's got tools for every occasion, but you know what? I don't like using other blokes' tools, but I'm not going to take a bunch of power tools over there. I'm just going to take the bits, just in case he hasn't got the right bit. I'll make sure I've got my bits with me so that I know I can get onto the correct screw on the bike. Now the other thing I want to make sure of is I just want to make sure of I've got enough that I can do tests and things, so I might just take a little packet of jumper wires and I've got to take the switch. And where did I put the switch yesterday? There's a switch in a plastic bag. There it is. Got it. I've got to put that back on the bike before I even get on it. I'm going to ride the bike over to my mate's place using hand signals, so I can at least get over there and get something going. So we've been about 5 minutes. The food is starting to settle. It's not. Oh, the anti-nausea drugs, they stop you from throwing it up, so at least the food stays in. But the feeling of the nausea, it doesn't go away, not quickly. So we've got about another 15 minutes of feeling really nauseous and feeling like throwing up, during which I should have my shower. And I'll go down to the bike and we'll put this indicator switch back in, because we know it's not it hasn't got any problems. I forgot to clean the terminals, damn it. Can you imagine? I've got some jumper wires in there too. I'll take that plastic bag. I'll just throw my tool in it and I'll take it with me. Oh, I've got some jumper wires and some actual wires. There we go. And we're sweet. We've got enough that we can just get that done. We've got to get that switch cleaned up. Well, let's do that while we're waiting for the food to settle. Well, I did something to it because they're not too bad. Like, the pins aren't that bad. I must have given them a bit of a bloody rub with something. I've got a bit of sandpaper here. Just a little bit of this stuff. It's old and crappy sandpaper, but what you can do is you can make it like that, put it in there. I go up one side first. And go up the other side. There we go. And they're clean. Clean as a whistle. And what you can do is you can go over that with a little bit of this isopropyl alcohol. What I tend to do with it is I tend to go over it with something else. But I'm not going to do it. They're clean enough. I don't want to tempt fate. I've tested this switch and I know it works. I'll put the switch in the bag again. I've got half a chance of remembering this shit on the way out the door. If I work out, oh, I didn't bring the switch and I come back upstairs for it, at least I've got everything in one place. Now that's ready to go. That's really all I'm going to, oh, the bits. I'm going to take my bits as well. I'll put them in the bag as well. Righto. I'll see you after I've had my shower. Right, so why did I put this this clip together? Hopefully you'll pick up from this how much energy is sapped from your body when you're on chemotherapy. It's hard to describe it. It's like you're walking through 4 feet of snow without snowshoes. That's what it feels like. Your mind is not reacting the way it needs to. You've got to take a minute longer to think about things. Now, as this is going to air, I've actually been off the chemo for nearly a month. I've had a minor corrective operation done, so they took me off the chemo and they're about to put me back on it. Now I've got a bit of face fuzz going on. I'm losing, as you can see up here, I'm shedding hair from up here, and I'm not even on chemo. So I've taken this opportunity along with a few other people to get quite a bit done and get some of these videos posted. The big thing is getting out of that bed or getting out of restful chairs. Like, we've got recliner rockers here now, and they're thieves. What they do is they support you and make you feel drowsy and rob you of your time. It's a beautiful day today, and all I feel like doing is going to bed and having a sleep, because the surgery's actually caused some other things to happen, and it's quite painful. And painkillers, I'm not taking them because they screw with you. So the painkillers are in the corner of the pill box, and I just don't take them. I try not to. As much as I can get away without taking painkillers, that's what I do. I get away without taking them. Quite frankly, it feels like someone shoved a steel rod through my backside and right up through my gut. So that's what it feels like. And this is where I'm at right now. I've got to get over this in the next 9 days. I've got 9 days to get over this, and then I'm back on chemo. So life is about managing health conditions. You've got to push through the pain. You've got to push through not feeling like things. And you can see clearly in these videos that I've just shown you that I'm struggling, that I'm not myself. I'm pushing hard. If you're in that situation, let me encourage you. You're not alone. There's plenty of support for you. There's lots of support, and you need to take advantage of it when you need to, right? And you'll know, you'll hit a point, you'll hit a wall, and you start with your partner, and if that doesn't work, then you go on to, like who you trust, and then you go on to the professionals. And the first person you should be talking to is your oncologist. That's the first person you should be talking, because they know what's there. They understand. They've had very many experiences of people going through what you've gone through, and they know what those people did to solve their problems. So there's a wealth of advice in your oncologist. I actually have a liaison nurse. I have 2 of them, in fact, who I can ring up and talk. I can just talk during office hours. But it's great. It's a great resource that the hospital's put there for me. And I can ring them up and I can discuss a medication that I'm having problems with, or I can discuss, a symptom that I'm having problems with. Now, let me tell you, a little sip of ginger beer seems to be the best thing. I don't know why, but it seems to me to give me a little bit of energy and take away the nausea. I can't explain why. I just know that when I have a little bit of ginger beer, I have a glass about this big, and I fill the glass and I sip from it. And when I do, I get a bit more energy and I can get some things done. So if you do it too often, it stops working. So in moderation, it's a good way to go. A bit of ginger, I think, is a good thing for when you feel nauseous. It's good. And I've also had soup with ginger, and popping a bit of ginger in with your meal, if you can, it helps give you back a bit of energy. Don't know why, it just does. For me, it worked. Now, let me encourage you to be positive. You can't afford negative thoughts. If you start thinking the negative thoughts, they're thieves as well. Negative thoughts, why me? What did I do to deserve this? All that sort of rubbish. I've called it rubbish, and it is rubbish. It is. You can't dwell on the why me. You can't dwell on the what did I do? What did I do wrong? Anytime you're doing that, you're wasting your time. You really are. You got to get that rubbish thinking out of your life. You got to keep moving forwards towards, set a goal and keep moving toward it. Even if it takes you 5 times longer than everyone else around you, Doesn't matter, as long as you do it. You've got to keep doing the things that move you forwards. Now, I still feel nauseous. I've been off the chemo for a month and I still feel nauseous. I don't actually know what was worse, being on the chemo or the withdrawal symptoms of coming out of it. They're just as bad, if not worse. So just because you think you finished chemo and your body's starting to start up some of the systems it didn't use, your immune system is all over the place. There's pain, and your immune system's going after the pain, and oh my God, you just move through it. You just keep going. You got to have a bit of faith in things. You can't get through without a bit of faith. And I don't know how people would get through without a bit of faith. And you got to put your hand up when you need help. You definitely need to. And if you're doing it tough, well, welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. I've lost my career. Everything's collapsed around me. My business has collapsed. Everything's collapsed around me. And yet here I am still swinging at it. I'm still determined that we're going to get to the end of this. We're going to get to a point where we've got all of our quals, where we've got all of our certificates, where we've got all of the things we set as goals stacking up behind us and being ticked off. You can't use your disease as an excuse. You can't do it. Because once you start saying, oh, I'm too sick, I'm too this, I'm too that, whatever, it's too easy to do it. It really is. It's you can just sit in that bed, in that chair, and you'll die. You will. The disease will consume you. You won't get what you need out of life, and you'll die. So don't give into it. Is all I can say. Don't give into it. You lean on your comrade. There's people in the room with you that are going through what you're going through. Ask them. Talk to them. Find out what they're doing. Some of them have got good ideas. Some of them have got really crap ideas. One of them is a marijuana advocate, and he swears blind that medicinal marijuana is the way to go. That doesn't appeal to me. I don't like, I don't like dulling the pain and dulling the senses, which is what this does. I prefer to be more aware, and I think that those that do it, okay, more power to you. And for some of you, it's the only way to go. And I think you're in a pretty bad place if you're in that position where you need marijuana to get you through a day. I'm going the other way. I'm trying to get the drugs out of me. I'm trying to understand what drugs they're giving me, and the ones I need to take, I take. You need them. You're like, without them, you won't function. Right? Okay. Well, there's no question. Those drugs you take. Now, I don't take the Maxilon. They've given me the anti-nausea Maxilon. If I can get by without taking it, the anti-nausea, I do. I don't take it. But if I need it, I take it. Right? But I only take it if I need it. I don't take it because it's prescribed to be taken 3 times a day. I don't do that. The more dependent you are on anti-nausea, it's the sort of thing, it dulls the nausea, but it doesn't make it stops you vomiting, but the nausea is still there, And the ginger is by far a better solution, I think. I use it a lot. I use ginger a lot, and ginger beer and ginger ale and ginger in my food. It just gives me more energy, and I think it's a better solution than the Maxilon. It stops your vomiting and it gives you energy. It doesn't stop the nausea. The nausea is always there. And, you push through whatever it is. You just push through it and get to the next thing. I've had to wear sanitary pads in my undies, because things are leaking out of me, and I can't control that, and I don't want my wife to have to deal with that in my undies. So I wear sanitary pads. Easy solution. It stops the problem of Leonie needing to deal with it, and I wash my own undies anyway. So let's get that straight. But you don't want stains on your undies if your missus has got to wash them or whatever. You don't want that. And so you be a bit clean about it. Currently, I'm changing that pad 3 times a day because of the operation that I had that was supposed to fix all this, which has actually made it worse in the short term. It will fix it longer term. And I'm being frank with you guys. I'm telling to you like it is. The reason I put this together, you can see how clumsy I am, how drawn out and prolonged everything is. Even cooking, like I love to cook, and I'll cook, just off the whatever is, I'll cook, and I'll enjoy it. I love doing it. But there's some days I'll get up and I'll look at all that food and I'll think, oh, I just don't want to cook today. I don't. And then my wife will come home from work and she'll be like, I don't want to cook. And so you go and you eat out and your money's going down the drain, and you're not eating anything that you should be eating anyway. You're not where you need to be. So you cook and you push past this feeling of, I don't feel like cooking. Well, I love to cook. I know I love to cook. So I'll make something and I'll just get on with it. That's simple. You have to control what's going on. You're in control of it. It's your decision ultimately that does or doesn't do something. And if you want to sit in a chair all day and just watch a television, well, you can do that. I can do that. Anyone can do that. But if you wanted to get up out of that chair and go for a walk around the block, well, not everyone does that. And you might feel a little bit special because you did. And feeling a little bit special is a positive feeling that helps you get to the next thing. So let me encourage you. Let me say to you this. Whatever it is, there's nothing there that you can't get help with, that you can't move through. And if you're in the position where you can't, well, I can pray for you in prayer. It hurts nothing to pop up a little prayer. It hurts nothing. And be amazed at how sometimes a little prayer gets you from one thing to the next. Now, I'm not saying it works. I'm not saying that go and convert religions and all the rest of that. I'm not a religious person, but I do pray. So I am a religious person. Go figure. I don't go to church. I don't. If I do because I'm sort of respecting my wife a little bit because she likes to go to Easter and Christmas and anything special she goes, and she's Catholic. I'm not, so I don't get the full experience of the communion and the rest of that to her church. If we go to my church, we do. We can have the communion, but then she doesn't feel right about going to different churches and all the rest of it. So religion's complicated. It really is. It's complicated, and no wonder wars are fought over it because we don't fight over religion. We have never fought over religion. I've always respected her and her right to do whatever for her religion. So it doesn't hurt. That's all I'm saying. Put a little prayer in, even a silent one. Just Lord help. Lord help. And sometimes the help just arrives, and you don't know why. Maybe you watched this video because the Lord encouraged you to do it. I don't know. I couldn't say you did. Maybe I encouraged you. And if I did, I'm pleased. I'm pleased that I was helped. This is all about being positive. That's what it is. So I want you to make good decisions and do good things and keep swinging. I want you to like and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel, like the video if you liked it. Even if you didn't like it, like it. Why? It's only a matter of time before this falls out. I don't know when it will, but it will. It's shedding, and I'm going to look a lot worse than I look now. Back on the chemo 1st of December. I've got 9 days. I've got to get myself where my backside's working correctly. Right now it feels like someone shoved a steel rod up through it, and it's pretty raw and rotten and sore. But that's the operation. They've gone in and they've fixed a bunch of stuff as much as they could, and it's to be expected. I'm only 5 days out of that operation, and I'm feeling like I need to be sitting on donut pillows, which I'm not doing. I'm not sitting on donut pillows. They prescribed me a whole bunch of painkillers to take the pain away. Well, I'm not taking those painkillers. I'm not. So the pain's there, and I'm working through the pain. That's what's going on. I want you to be encouraged. I want you to be positive, and don't take it out on whatever else you do. You don't take it out on your family. You don't. All right? You need your family. So you don't take it out on your partner. You don't take it out on your doctors. You don't take it out on anyone who's giving you support. You just nod your head. If you don't want it, you nod your head and you go put the old hey, yeah. You just know what you smile away, boys. As the penguins say, smile away. It works a treat, and the people think they've contributed to you. You're like, what a waste of time. But there you go. It was a waste of time, but it wasn't, because what's happened? You smiled. Hey, check it out. I got a smile. And if you're smiling, well, you're doing something right when you smile. You really are. You're doing something right. Good decisions, good things. Keep swinging. Don't give up. Just don't give up. And do something positive. Just keep moving through it. Little tips like the ginger, not allowing yourself to be strapped to a chair or strapped to a bed or whatever. Get up out of that bloody thing. It's a thief. It's robbing you of your energy. It's robbing you of your life. You've got to think of it like that. The more you're sitting in a bed or lying in a bed, sitting in a chair, you could be out doing a little walk somewhere, just walk around the block or whatever. Even jump up and have a shower. Get out of the chair and go have a shower. I've done that. You feel 100% after a shower. I always feel better after I've had a shower. You might still feel like throwing up, but at least you're on your feet and you're not in a chair. You're not in a bed. Change your clothes, change your gear, change your attitude. Change is as good as a holiday. So it's true. It is. If you got stinking thinking, you need to let go of it. You really do. And just get on with it. Just get on with whatever it is. You want to see some encouraging things? Go to the Kids Cancer Ward. Have a look at those kids. They're not saying, why me? But they just want to play. They just want to have some fun. They don't care about their disease as much as you do. Interestingly, they don't. They'll get through it, and they'll come up with amazing little games that give them energy and sap them of their strength, and then they'll need to have a sleep, and they'll have their little nap or their little nap, and then they'll bounce up and away they'll go again, and they'll go till they run out of energy, which will be another 2 hours, and they'll have another little nap, and away they'll go again. And and if that's what you need to do, if you need to have a little nap, have a little nap. Just get your energy, but don't stay napping all day. Just get yourself up and about. Good decisions, good things. Keep swinging. I'm going to do another couple of these videos as I go, and I would hope that you have drawn some inspiration from them. I'll see you at the next one.